Good news, everybody. Matthew here with another episode of Let's Play Minecraft on the Jsanofanserver. So I've been doing a little bit of work here and there and doing things. I've actually finally put a bed in here. I just decided to put it just right here. I put it on obsidian because I like obsidian. I like the obsidian. I really do. I wish you could make obsidian steps and all sorts of things out of obsidian, but they won't let you. It's kind of sad. But anyways. But the first thing I need to do today is I need to get some sand. I need lots of sand. And I know Boo has sand at her place because she's giving it away because she built her place in the desert. So what that meant was I got distracted there. What that means is that she has lots of sand. So it means I'm going to get some free sand. It's kind of like my dad. My dad for years, my parents' property is, middle of kind of nowhere. It's Goodrich. It's just like Jeff's parents, same town, everything, all that. But we were on a hill. And the hill was kind of bare. My dad's always been doing things to everything, to the yard, cutting down trees, and he loved to cut down trees. I don't know why, but he loved to cut down trees. I haven't figured that one out so much why. But he just loved to cut down trees, and then he would... Oh my god, go away. I don't want to... There we go. I guess that's the best way I'm going to do it, huh? But anyways, he would cut down a lot of trees, and we plant a lot of pine trees. But the problem with us being on a hill is everything ran downhill. So at the bottom of the hill, there was a large sand pit at my parents' place. And my dad always, and because the water gathered there, it was a good place to put a pond. Problem is, sand doesn't really retain water very well. So we had no way of keeping sand in, or keeping water in the sand pit that my dad wanted to become a pond. Sad story is a neighbor down the street that we're friends with, his house burnt down. Literally burnt down, like half the house was gone. And luckily they had a pole barn set up in the back that, him and his wife could live in and was heated and everything because she ran her business out of there. So their house burnt down, and they were putting in geothermic heating into their residence. And my dad, and the guy's like, well, I need a ton of sand for this thing. My dad comes to him and says, hey, if you guys need free sand, he goes, all you got to do is, we're a quarter of a mile down the street. Just bring your truck down. Take all the sand you want. He goes, the only thing you got to make sure you do is, I want a pond. So try and make it look like a pond. So we ended up getting this free... My dad ended up a couple of years ago getting this free pond dug at the house. And then he put in a bunch of... some kind of sealer, apparently, that turned... it's supposed to turn sand into... it like seals sand, turns it into almost clay. So that's what he was doing. So now my dad's got a pond, but it's because we had all the sand. It's just one of those things that kind of reminded me. So, but this is what I've been working on, in case you guys haven't seen. I've expanded this area here, but I still want to keep kind of a beach here. So I've done that. I filled in all of this over here. I think I still should go back further. That's what my plan is anyways. But I'm trying to make my beach front look pretty good here. And I think if I do 3 wide here, which is I was doing earlier, and I ran out of sand. I was like, you want to know what? This is actually something I can do pretty easily, So I'm going to do that. And so, yeah, I've been doing that. Too much there. And in case you're wondering, yes, I am leaving. Oh, that's what's going on. Um, yes, this bottom part is going to be too high there, so mobs can't jump up here. I'm kind of protecting myself from mobs in a way, this way. And I realize I've screwed up a lot of this. Oh, come on. Just do it. So that's my plan, is to build this like this, so that way I can... Oh, what the hell? Friggin' lag. I really think it's my computer lagging. I always thought Minecraft was a real simple game, and because of its simplicity, it didn't take up as very much computer processing power. It appears that it takes up tons of computer processing power. It's such a simple game, but it takes up tons of space. It takes up more than my more graphically intense games. It's odd that it does that. So right now I'm just leaving this as is, and eventually I'm going to go and fix this and make it look better. But my whole goal is just to make this look like a beach, and that's what I want to do. Okay, so this one does need that there. It looks fine. Now what I need to do is... Oops. I'm going to make this come out to about 4 blocks, is what my plan is. Because I want to have a beach, because I kind of like the fact that I'm right on the water. I kind of like it. It looks cool. So I do like it, and I want it to be like that. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we got that. 1, 2. Oops. No. That's wrong. And this is where the... Freaking kidding me. There we go. That's what I want to do. 3. That's okay. 1, 2, 4. And I want to go 4 out. And the reason for that is I feel it's, when I'm looking at it from up there, because of the forced perspective and all the other thing, or perspective I should say, of this one being so much higher, if I do this out and put this out further, it's going to look a little better. So that's my reasoning behind that. And that's all my, that's the artist in me coming out, doing things that I know and understand for that kind of stuff. Speaking of art, it's in perspective. That was one thing I always thought was kind of cool to learn about when you're learning about like a lot of artists and how they do things. Like a lot of like Donatello and a lot of these guys who did sculpture and things. Oh, there's a spider right there. Let's kill him. Yeah, there we go. God bless it, Enderman. They keep taking shit. And then they drop it off inside there. I don't know why they want to keep dropping off inside of there. That pisses me off that they do that. Anyways, what I was saying is, everyone knows that Renaissance artists are supposed to be these awesome artists that did really good work. Yeah, that looks good. That looks fine. But they did this really good work. I'm getting on tyrants there, or getting distracted by shiny things, so to speak. They've always done this really anatomically correct work and things like that. And depending on where the statues are viewed from, Donatello did a lot for cathedrals and things, I believe. Same with Michelangelo. And if you were looking at something straight on, it would look fine. But some of the work that they did was put so high up that if you looked at it from straight on, the body proportions would seem wrong. You're like, how is someone who's supposed to be this great artist do this wrong? Well, you're not supposed to look at it from straight on. You're supposed to look at it from below. And from below, what they would do is they would stretch out body parts, like they would make the head bigger than it's supposed to be, longer than it's supposed to be. Because when you're looking at it from below, that perspective is going to make it look like it's right. So they did a lot of funny trickery things, and that's kind of like my reasoning behind doing that front out there, you know. And like I said, this was what I was, you know, my whole thing is I was planning all this over here to do, so it looks pretty good. I mean, I guess it would have to probably go out like maybe twice as far, I think, is really what it needs to do. But I'm not going to make it go that much further out. But like I said, what I'm planning on today was just working on all of this out here and getting this all set up and ready. And what I'm getting it ready for is so I can build my farm, my more automated farmers. Now, best way of doing this is getting rid of these trees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this. Ah! I hate vines. Yeah, I'm really surprised my computer lags. I mean, you guys might not see the lag as much as I do. I'm wondering if it has to do with my video card or if it has to do with something else completely. And that's what I am torn on right now because I don't know. I mean, I doubled the processing power and tripled the amount of RAM in my, not even triple, I believe it was quadrupled the amount of RAM in my computer recently with my new computer setup, because now I'm running Intel i4-7770K, so I'm able to overclock it, which I'm not doing though. And before that, I was running a Pentium something. I can't remember which Intel chip I was running, but it was pretty old. I mean, it's about 5 or 6 years old, the chipset. So yeah, and then I put in. Now I've got 16 megs of RAM. And before I had 4. And with MineCraft and recording, it does seem to lag a lot. And I'm kind of wondering if that's because of my video card, because I do have an older video card. I purposely chose the motherboard I'm using because A, it's supposed to be really easy to use, but it also did have lots of different slots for lots of different types of video cards. So that way I could use my old one without having to buy a new one right away. I probably should have bought a new one. I was debating on it, and I told myself, nah, let's not. I don't need to do that, and I probably should have. Oh, I moved down there. Yeah, it's kind of confusing because I don't know. Half the time, like, it lags for like 2 or 3 seconds sometimes. I mean, I really don't know if you guys see that. Like I do. I mean, it's one thing if it's rubber bands or something. You guys can see that kind of happening in real time. But this, I'm not sure if it's just something that's being on my side or when it records, it doesn't do it as much. I really don't know. Which just kind of pisses me off about my computer, and I spent all this money to get this brand new computer upgrade, and I am high as shit. Well, not a piece of shit. It's still a great computer, and I'm really happy with my computer. I just wish it was a little bit better for I wish it was a little bit better for recording, and I think I just got to get a new video card. I got to get like the latest ones, whatever those latest are, because I don't know what I'm using right now. I can't remember what kind of chipset thingy or whatever it is. Because I got so out of computers for so long that I just don't remember what's, it's just, I don't know half the time what's good and what isn't. I think I really need a new video card. I think that's the best thing I could do. Because if I'm still getting lag like this from what I'm doing, I assume it's because it is my video card. Come on. And that's what I need to do. I do need to get a new one. So I have to save up some money and try and get one. Because right now money is tight. I spend a lot of money pretty much just surviving day to day, It's, I don't work much. I only work like 2 days a week, so. And then my other job that I've been doing web work for has kind of been on a slow pace. I'm not really web development, I'm web design. So I'm doing CSS and HTML, but what we're doing is crazy amounts of work, and a lot of it's PHP, and it's using WordPress to do it. And WordPress is very powerful, but unless you're a developer, a lot of that crazy stuff you just can't do, and that's my problem. I do not know web programming at all, and I'm okay with that. I will hire people to do that kind of stuff. Or I give Jeff a call. Jeff will help me with it, because he normally understands PHP and all that other crazy stuff that they do. Thank God for having a guy who's smart with IT stuff, He's always giving me a hand with stuff, and I give him a hand with a lot of other stuff that that we do, like the logo that he has that he's using right now. I helped him with that. When I designed it, I really loved it. Now, it's artists are always the hardest on themselves, and that's how I feel. I think now that I look at it, I want to tweak things a little bit more, but that's just me being me, I think I could tweak the text a little better, in my opinion. It's not horrible. It's good. I like it. It's still good. But I want to tweak it a little better. I think I may have went too extreme with it. But he's only using it in the logo, so it's not like he's using it as a legible typeface, so to speak, when I say legible, I mean ones that you would use on a web page, book, or a magazine. There's a difference between display typefaces, which are the fancy, cool ones that people try to use for like regular reading, and they're not good for it. They're not good for it because it's hard to read display typefaces. You've seen when they're very large and in small quantities, and when you try to use them in large quantities, they lose their effect. And that's what a lot of people don't know. That's what happens with a lot of people. Or they use typefaces in inappropriate situations. Case in point, Comic Sans. Comic Sans was developed by Microsoft, and it's actually a very well-designed typeface. The graphic design community hates Comic Sans, and the reason for it is, well, when Microsoft developed it, they developed it for a comic book type program for kids back in the 90s. And it never came about. They never made the program. So what they ended up doing was just including it with Microsoft. And then everybody started to use it. Because look, it's not Times New Roman or Arial or Helvetica. Helvetica didn't get nearly as popular until 2000-ish, I would say. It's a beautifully designed typeface, and that's what Arial is supposed to be, a knockoff of it. I believe it's actually meant to be more read for the web or something like that, if I remember correctly. Limitations then of pixels and things like that was different than it is now, of course. But yeah, Comic Sans. I hate Comic Sans. I hate it because people use it so inappropriately. If you're using it in a comic setting, I'm fine with it. I will not tell you that it is a bad typeface to use for that. In fact, it's a good typeface to use for it. It's what it was designed for. The other one I hate is Papyrus. Everybody loves this typeface. Same thing. Microsoft created it for a one of their type designers created it. And don't get me wrong, it's a nice looking typeface if you're using it. I mean, the woman who originally created it for an Egypt theme type of thing. And that's what she created it for. Problem is, people use it for all sorts of things, and a lot of Christian churches have been using it because they think it feels holy. Why does it feel holy? I don't get what's going on in their mindset of why it feels like it's a holy typeface. I don't get it. I will never get it. I don't understand why people do these things. But, they're not design people. But anyways, yeah. That's that, and this is that, and all that other stuff. So, yeah, but like I said, my other job hasn't been paying me anything because I have to wait on the other guy to do work. And honestly, I'm kind of not sure if I want to keep doing the work, I'm kind of unhappy with it. I feel like my opinions as a designer aren't taken into importance. Guy running the company, I'm not going to lie, it's his company. He can do what he wants. But you hire me as a designer, but then you tell me you want me to come up with things like a color palette for the website. And I do that. And he goes, oh, there's too few colors. I said, no, there's plenty of colors. He's like, no, I want a red, I want an orange, I want a lavender. I'm like, why don't you just use a rainbow? Doesn't matter what you're doing now, because he didn't seem to understand that less is actually more, in that opinion.